Fine.
Hello friends, welcome back to the Kumbi-Gikku Show on the Gikkudiaries YouTube channel. The IPL has resumed after a 9-day break, though it was a wet start or wet restart, should I say, to the IPL with Royal Challengers Bengaluru and its washed away match against Kolkata Knight Riders. The top four positions have been finalized. Yes, Mumbai Indians have joined Royal Challengers Bengaluru, Gujarat Titans, and Punjab Kings as the four teams that will now play for the title, all-important title. Though there is a lot more to be playing for, with the positions in the top four very crucial as to how many chances each team gets to go to the playoffs. And to discuss with me is our own K. Srinath, the former first-class player from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, and also the BCCI panel umpire. And of course, he is also the co-author of the book, The Handbook of Cricket Psychology. Sri, welcome back. IPL has resumed after that forced break. How has it been, and how have you been following IPL and the other matters around IPL?
Yeah, thanks, Zico. Good to be back again. And yeah, 9-day hiatus, we discussed in the earlier shows regarding how, when, and where IPL could resume. And touchwood, it's resumed back in India. And yes, wet start. Unfortunately, one of the best grounds in the world, I would say, my home ground in Chinnaswamy. Unfortunately, the intensity with which the rain came down, there was no chance for the covers to be removed. If there was a respite, I think the game would have started. Yes, interesting week, and it was keenly poised to see as to who could make it to the top four. Especially the fourth position was, hanging in balance. Thanks to that washout game where points split, which literally saw KKR out of the tournament. And then rest is all clear now. The top four teams as of today, it's GT, RCB, Punjab Kings, and Mumbai Indians. Yes, the beginning of the tournament, a lot was said about who would make it to the top four. I think I always had both RCB and Mumbai in my top four. Maybe, as always, one of the top sides which has a big legacy in IPL was CSK, which literally failed to fire. And yes, the way they played brand of cricket, they see themselves loitering at the bottom position in this IPL. Happy for Punjab Kings. They have made it to the top four. And of course, Gujarat was always there at the back of the mind. And yes, we've come to the business end now. As you said, it all boils down now to the top two. And the race is getting really hot. Finishing in the top two is very important now for the teams in the top four.
Right. We just touched upon the wet restart to this IPL, and we also saw the change in the rules that you have 1 hour added to the hours of play, even for a wet start or for a rainy start. So you have, earlier it used to be 1 hour of extension without the number of overs being reduced. Now it is 2 hours. So can you throw more light on this and why it is useful, or how it is going to be useful in the coming days?
Jiko, the playing condition in this edition of IPL was, or rather, it's always been 60 minutes for the league games to have a full game, but 120 minutes for the playoffs. But to make a ad hoc rule in between, when there was one washout game in Bengaluru, I think somewhere in fairness, it couldn't draw the clock back. So when Venki Mysore, the CEO of KKR, wrote a long mail to BCCI and said that in all fairness, it was not the correct decision to be taken. Well, we don't know what the rationale behind this uh, change in rule was, but certainly to tweak and bring in a new rule midway, not even midway. We are heading to the business, and hardly we got about 6, 7 games left in the tournament. Certainly would not have gone down well with KKR, because that was the team which really got badly hit in this edition of IPL because they had one, washed out game in Kolkata, their home game. The second was not a single ball bowled in Bengaluru. So definitely the team which got hit badly would obviously raise eyebrows. But yesterday also there was, threat looming large over Mumbai. There was an yellow alert, and DC. In fact, the management had written saying that they wanted the venue to be, shifted. So moving out venues in the last moment is certainly not feasible. But thankfully, the weather gods kept away. It was only during the post-match presser when we saw Surya Kumar Yadav come out to receive the POTM award with an umbrella in his hand. So yes, it certainly disadvantages a few teams, but in their own wisdom, I think the franchisees were all reached out, and they were told about the change in the playing condition. Yes, normally it's 60 minutes extra time available for the league phases and 120 for the playoffs. So that's it. Now, yes, done and dusted. So KKR can complain, but the clock can't be, redrawn.
Right now, with the remaining league matches and also the playoffs, hopefully the rain stays away and we don't have to go through these kind of extension or delayed start or long wait for the for the results to be obtained. See, how do you look at no the top four teams? I feel that the right top four teams who have played consistent cricket, or for somebody like Mumbai Indians who have begun badly but who have made up in the latter half, and especially going through a stretch of six unbeaten games or six continuous wins, the top four teams are deserve to be in the top four, isn't it? The Royal Challengers Bangalore have been consistent throughout with a great record away games. GT, Punjab Kings, ably led by their respective captains, who have also been performing well. And no better way to show for GT than that 10-wicket victory against Delhi-Capitals, where we saw in that match KL Rahul becoming the first right-hander to score a triple-digit score, but that was outclassed, outscored by the consistent opening pair, perhaps the best opening pair in this league, Sai Sudarshan and Shubman Gill. Isn't it?
Jiko, I echo your views, and the best four teams have made it to the playoffs. You hit the nail on the head. The consistency with which RCB's played, regenerated side with Rajat Patidar leading from the front, and they typically have covered most of the bases in this auction, and they got everything right. And yes, the most consistent side, especially in terms of their batting, has been GT. Their opening batters have fired all cylinders, and I would say they are the number one opening batters in this tournament, Sai and Shubman. And yes, of course, Punjab Kings. I wouldn't say, like an agenda, whatever, but hats off to the way Shreyas has handled the side. Bit disappointed when the auctions happened, and I was having a chat with him. In fact, Mumbai was playing a first-class game. And he was just telling me that, he was literally wanting to continue with KKR because he had just won the IPL title for them. There was a little bit of, remorse in him when he said that, no, they hadn't reached out in a particular way saying that they would retain him. And he said, fair enough, sir, I'll get back on the auction table. Let's see how it goes. So I just told him, never know, Shreyas, you could break the bank, I said. Not only did he break the bank, but, he's come out and really led by example. And they are deserving a franchisee to be a part of the top four. You spoke about Mumbai. We've been discussing about the way they have started, the way they start, the way they've been playing their initial stages since the inception of this IPL way back in 2008. They're a team which are pretty slow starters. It's more like the old story of the tortoise and the hare. They start like tortoise, but suddenly when you realize getting to the business end, they're like a hare. They're like a deer. They're up there in the pack. So yes, it's about peaking at the right time because maintaining momentum for 60 days in such a long tournament over 14 games, is a big challenge and really tough. And when you see there are so many players who've been part of all the 18 editions of IPL, if you can mention a few, like MS, like Rohit Sharma, somebody like Virat Kohli, Manish Pandey, though he's not figured much in this. All these guys know what it takes to, maintain that mojo and that consistency for a long period. And in between, we were talking about what this break could do.
Right.
Remember, Jiko, in the last show. So I think it's done really well for somebody like Kings, Punjab Kings.
Yes.
They've come back regenerated, all cylinders firing. So yes, that break was really welcome. 9 days, some people get away from cricket. They could take up to some other sport like golf. Some people just went for a small holiday. But that's done wonders. So yes, Mumbai Indians, they have got their unit together, especially after Bumrah made his comeback after the initial 4-5 games, and Surya coming into his own self, and what was I would say Chennai's loss.
Mhm.
Mitchell Santner was just warming the benches there. Yesterday was an outstanding spell of left arm spin bowling, because 180 was certainly, on yesterday's game, on such a, pressure cooker game, was certainly not a par score on that Wankhede pitch. But the way
Yes.
he came out and bowled, put Mumbai in the playoffs was fabulous. So I think Mumbai, once they have one foot in the door, I think they are unstoppable. So I think now they are a team which is going to be really dangerous. And yes, deservingly, the four best sides, I would say, have made it to the top four.
Yesterday, post match, no, we should also acknowledge the contribution of Naman Dheer, who has been coming in the towards the end, towards the depth. The role that he has been given is the finisher's role, and he has done that outstandingly well. And yesterday was one such great example when 132 runs for 5 wickets in 18 overs. He comes and plays as if there was nothing on the pitch that the previous batsman had to fail to, or they struggled to put bat to ball. 48 runs in the company of Surya Kumar Yadav on overs 19 and 20 that just took the game away. And Namandir, I asked him post match in the press conference that we had. He said, if Mumbai Indians are playing, you expect them to be in the playoffs. That statement speaks not just about himself and the confidence of Namandir, but it speaks so much about Mumbai Indians and what they are made of. That statement, he said, if Mumbai Indians are playing, you expect us to be in the playoffs. Full stop. That speaks about what he has also been contributing to this season, especially, and he has been outstanding in the outfield, manning the boundary line. That was fantastic, and the partnership with Surya Kumar Yadav. So that's what, like you mentioned, Mumbai Indians, low starters, but they know what to do when it comes when it matters most. Namandir has been. How have you found Namandir? Because I was particularly impressed with his utility value in the Mumbai Indians setup.
Absolutely. I think even Hemang in his presser, he said that, till 18th over, we were in the game. As
Yes.
you said, 48 runs in the last 2 overs. Their execution went berserk. And yes, 180. The momentum you're carrying forward when you come onto the field is something massive. So that would have given a massive boost to, the morale of the Mumbai Indians team. Yes, Namandir followed his white ball cricket in domestic Jiko. He
Mhm.
comes across as a very quiet young guy. He knows his role well. And, it's about the confidence a franchise, the team management, the support staff the captain provides. I think we all know for one reason why MI has been a very, very successful franchise along with CSK is, they have identified talent, they've groomed them, they've given them a long rope, and they know how to take care of the players. I think that's the key. It's not just about self-confidence and your, belief in your ability, but it's about the support you receive from outside also. I think, as you said, unsung hero, he's just got unnoticed. Not many people have been speaking about him. But our discussion about Man of the Match awards, POTMs, they've been given to, a lot of guys who played cameos. I think yesterday's game, the turnaround for Mumbai to come back so strongly was the last 2 overs. As I
Yes.
said, then coming back after having got 180, they were tails up. They knew it was just a couple of wickets up front, and, they have a solid rounded bowling attack. And that's it. Yeah, Namandeep has been the unsung hero, not spoken about much, but yes, he's delivered for Mumbai when it has really mattered.
And when it really mattered for Delhi Capitals, they didn't have their captain who has been very impressive so far, taking them to the stage that they were in yesterday. But when they had to win compulsorily, they didn't have Akshar Patel because it was not for his fault. He was down with some, I was told, flu or viral fever that he could not make it to the stadium. I did not see him during practice the previous day, and I was told he was not at the stadium at all. So that was how bad Akshar Patel was, and that's why we saw Faf du Plessis stand in as a captain. How badly they missed Akshar Patel. He has been scoring with the bat, useful runs, 30 odd, 40 odd runs consistently at that, leading the troops. And his left arm spin, like yesterday, Hemant Badani spoke about the pitch being on the slower side, and his left arm spin was very badly missed.
Oh, yes, illness is something that anybody can control. Yes, not taking the field. Yes, they certainly Delhi missed the all-rounder in Akshar. I won't even put the finger on the button and say his captaincy, but certainly they missed his all-round skills. As a floater coming up the order to counter the spinners or his left arm spin, he's come on to bowl up front in the power play with the new ball. He's bowled well in the middle overs. As you said yesterday, yes, when Mumbai bowled second or towards the fag end of the innings, because Kuldeep had a phenomenal spell with the ball. So Akshar would have been really, really useful, and Mumbai would not have certainly, looked at a target of 180 if Akshar had played. That would have been it. So yes, it was a big body blow, and as you said, yes, in a crunch game wherein it was a must-win situation. So they were on 13. Two victories would have taken them to 17, where they would have been, in the fourth position. But now it's history, and they also again after the first 10 games they played, they also suddenly started losing their mojo. It's a body blow. Now yes, they go back to the drawing board, just play one more game to sign off, and yes, they will look forward to try plug those holes and the areas where they missed out on certain things to rework again, regroup as a team, and come back next year.
And also not working in DC's favor was the change in the batting order, not having a steady opening pair. They tried so many combinations. They also had KL Rahul open. They had Abhishek Porul open, have him at number 3. Karun Nair 4-3-1. Nothing worked, and yesterday was that probably, whether it is too harsh to say, but yesterday's match, Mumbai Indians put Delhi Capitals in their place.
True, I think a couple of teams who totally missed up with their top order. One of them was DC. You can say the teams which are not figuring in the top four have primarily been they've been led on majorly per se in terms of the top order batting. Not getting the right combination. DC, it could be KKR, it could be Rajasthan Royals, it could be LSG, because most of these teams they couldn't get off to a good start, which is very, very important in a T20 format. Yes, the teams that are there at the top four today have been successful. Why? Because they've got most of the boxes ticked. So that's it. Eventually, they just went down with a fight. I would say losing in a important game by 35, 40 runs is a big margin in T20 cricket. But nevertheless, they played a good brand of cricket. And yes, they would look to come back strongly in the next edition.
Yeah, and the match was played at the Wankhede, where before the restart, the Wankhede Stadium had a new stand and Rohit Sharma, named after Rohit Sharma. But unfortunately for him, he didn't get going in the first match that he was playing in front of his own stand. But how important is for somebody to play at the venue, especially when he is still an active player? Does that put pressure on these kind of players? No matter how much ever they have played, whatever number of years they have put in as experience, to play in front of their own stand, does it put pressure and sometimes the performance is affected?
Absolutely no, Jiko. I think they are, just not professionals. Actually, they're superhumans. And for somebody like Rohit, who's seen it all, a guy who's captained India, he's had a World Cup victory, he's been part of WTC finals, he's won 5 titles for Mumbai Indians, he's been part of Ranji Trophy winning sides. He knows what it takes to win and play in front of massive crowds. The reason always I mention this is, why are Indian cricketers prone to performing better under pressure when the crowds are big, when it gets noisy, is because of our own IPL. Typically, when you see the foreign teams or teams that travel from abroad, Certainly, they are not used to such noisy conditions. 35, 40,000 people screaming at the top of the voices. And that puts a lot of pressure on those players. But for Rohit, it would be in the other way around. It would have been pleasure for him to walk out in his home turf. Recently, a stand named after him. I mean, how many of them would be privileged? Most of the times, what happens is, in fact, Chinnaswamy named a few of the stands against the names of some of the iconic cricketers Karnataka produced, like Gundappa Vishwanath, Prasanna, Kumble, Dravid, all these people. That's an honor they got once they gave up playing the game. But Rohit still being a part of the setup, still continuing to be available for Indian 50 over ODI format, currently playing for Mumbai Indians. I mean, it's a huge, huge honor. And in fact, first time I saw Rohit really get emotional in a particular scene. Even when the India won the T20 World Cup, I couldn't, see him get so much emotional. But he was really emoting a lot, when he came out to deliver that speech during the inauguration of his stand being named after him. Truly, it's an honor and a great privilege. And why not? I think he would proudly walk out there and, say that stand named after me, I'm still playing. Why not? One of those games, hit and a miss, but he's too good a player, to miss one more opportunity.
Right. So looking ahead, how do you look at? So I was just, in the wildest of dreams, I was just looking at. You have two players who have recently retired from Test cricket, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Their teams are in the playoffs. How about RCB versus Mumbai Indians final, Virat Kohli versus Rohit Sharma, and also the two brothers going against each other? That would make it for a fantastic grand finale for this IPL. What do you say?
I mean, nice fantasy story and true. The facts you put across is absolutely true. Two brothers pitted against each other and recently retired icons and giants of Indian cricket, test red ball cricket. But the crux would be in case both the teams don't finish in the top two. So you would certainly not see one team turn up for the final. So that's why, why I mention the race is getting really hot to the top two is the teams that finish in the top two end up playing the qualifier one. The team which wins the qualifier one directly steps into the final. Whereas the team that loses the qualifier one still has another crack. They play the eliminator, winner of the eliminator, that is the teams that qualify 3 and 4. And they play the winner of that. So now that's the beauty of this format. So that is why one winning straight away to the final, the second one gets another crack. Whereas it could be the two better teams vying for the 3 and 4 spot. But if it's going to be Mumbai Indians and RCB finishing at 3 and 4, I think we would certainly see one of the big teams lose out on that. Yes, a fantasy, a dream. Nothing bigger than, to see a MI-RCB final in a packed 130,000 in Narendra Modi Stadium. Looking forward to that. For that, hopefully, we need to see RCB or MI jump into the top two spots. One of them at least.
True. We touched upon Surya Kumar Yadav and his consistency, and he has been one who has. No, there is this. He has this IPL record of scoring 25 plus in each of his 13 innings this IPL, and I had a brief chat with him during the T20 Mumbai League auction that happened during the break, and he was having that orange cap, which was not there for a long time on his head. He wore it for just a few hours before it was snatched away on the double header on Sunday. Next, it was just for a night that he had it. Next day, it was taken away by Sai Sudarshan. So I told him, hopefully this time the orange caps lasts longer on your head. And for that, he came up with his typical one-liner saying in Hindi that the train is stopping at every station. And yeah, so now it is not on his head, but the consistency with which he has been scoring is amazing. And it's not that he is throwing bat at everything. And yesterday's situation, the way on the kind of pitch that it was, he played sensibly and accelerated in those last 2 overs. Surya Kumar Yadav, you would have seen him from the domestic cricket before he made it to the IPL. in the different tournaments, List A, Ranji Trophy, IPL. How has he evolved as a batsman?
In fact, the first time I saw him was in an under-19 game, a semi-final in Delhi when they were playing Delhi in the chilling cold in January. I think it was St. Stephen's College. I think my relationship with him has been fantastic. I've seen him grow as a young boy from 19. I've been part of a lot of games that he's turned out for Mumbai. A very, very, keen student of the game. In fact, he always carried a law book in his, cricket kit. And one of the former managing committee members of MCA, Ganesh Iyer, a former BCC umpire, I think he was the manager of the Mumbai team those days. And he used to come and tell me, Sri, Surya is very, avid. He's averse with all the, well versed with all the 42 laws of the game. And, that was the way he was. And at a very young age, in fact, before he broke in, big stage, one day he told me, sir, there's something, once I stop playing cricket, I want to become an umpire. I said, I call him Suri. Suri, nobody, makes such a statement. You're still a young guy with a lot of cricket behind you still, ahead of you rather. So he said, no, sir. So that's the way he was. And ever smiling. And, somebody, typically in this modern day cricket where, stakes are very high, a wrong decision or a wrong call, he's somebody who would just take it in his stride and walk off. One of the most affable, cricketers, I would say. Guy who was captaining the current India T20 team and, was done extremely well for himself as well as India and for Mumbai Indians. As you say, when the chips are really down, Surya Kumar Yadav is somebody who would look upon to. And he's gone about his work very quietly, just business as usual. Jiko, how many of them would relate to saying 25 plus scores in 13 innings is a record in T20 cricket? That shows the consistency with which he's played.
Right.
And yes, again, he's peaked at the right time, though his contributions have not been in 80s or 90s. Those quick 30, 40s have been really match-winning knocks. Yes, he's the man who's come to the party right now, and Mumbai Indians certainly would bank on his form, at least for the next 3, 4 games to go the distance.
True. And as we come to the end of this episode, Sri, how do you look at those temporary replacements that different teams have? Like there is no Mitchell Stark and Jake Megag for the DC once IPL resumed. Now Mumbai Indians will be bereft of the services of Will Jacks and the two South Africans, Ryan Rickerton and Corbin Bosch. They've got in though Johnny Bairstow and the pace bowler Richard Gleeson from England, and also have Charit Asanka, who has been a wonderful bat for them in recent times. And the other teams, like they have got this Blessing Musarabani, RCB for the remaining matches. How do you look at the entire scenario? Do you think those replacements affect the team balance and also change the rhythm with which the teams have now made it to the playoffs?
Well, I think the teams that have made the switch, and taken a call on replacements were basically the teams that have made it to the top 4, barring DC, which had a chance. Well, for the viewers, just to clarify, IPL gave an option because of 9 days of cricket not happening, IPL not happening, and players missing out were from South Africa, England, Australia, because Australia and South Africa are going to contest in the WTC final starting in England. And Zimbabwe is playing a test match, one-off test match against England, and a white ball series followed by that. So they were going to lose out players, most of these franchises. So IPL said you could pick a replacement player, but he will be eligible only to play in this season, and he cannot be retained for the next season. So the original player who was picked can be retained, but not the replacement player. I think it was a fair call because time was too short for players to go back and then fly back again and be a part of it. And time being so short, and as we saw now, Jofra Archer's case, he's not turning out in the next couple of weeks for England because of a finger injury he had turning out for RR. So that could be detrimental on them turning out for their country. So this is the reason why BCCI decided to give a chance to these franchisees to rope in temporary replacements.
Right, and among those replacements was Mustafizur Rahman for DelhiCapitals, who last Sunday played T20 international against UAE for Bangladesh in Sharjah, and within next 24 hours he was in India playing the IPL. And another replacement, though it was before the break, was Mitchell Owen for Punjab Kings, replacing the injured Glenn Maxwell. Interesting, Sri, with Mitchell Owen, a century in the BBL final for Tasmania, when Tasmania won the title. And before the break, he was playing for a franchise in the Punjab Pakistan Super League
Super
until
League, yeah.
say the first week of May, and then the break happened, and he is now with the Punjab Kings. So it's some interesting moves here and there. With Mitchell Owen was something which was quite which was quite interesting. A BBL final century, match-winning 100 for Tasmania, playing in PSL, now in IPL, in the same in the matter of just about 2 weeks or so. So that's something.
True, he looks like an exciting prospect and talent. And being a Tasmanian, he has a fellow Tasmanian as the coach of Punjab. You would have seen a lot of him. Good like-to-like replacement. Yes, as you said, the teams that have made it to the top four, especially Mumbai, Punjab Kings, RCB also, they made the right choices in roping in those replacement players. Whether they would be put to use is a question mark because we'll have to wait and watch as to what sort of combinations they would work on. But very prudent on the part of BCCI, and also that's been used very wisely by some of the franchisees.
So just to before finishing off, when Punjab Kings reassembled for after the break, their coach Ricky Ponting, introducing the newcomer, told the players, Mitchell Owen, same status, Tasmania, and you will not have any problems going around. He's a good guy. So that's the kind of camaraderie that they all have, even with the newcomers, and they feel made to feel at home. So on that note, thank you, Sri, for again some wonderful stories, wonderful insights, and especially the Surya Kumar Yadav anecdote is something that was very interesting, and not many would have known about his attachment to the loss of cricket. So we have probably a future elite panel umpire once he is done with playing.
Never know how things could change, and they would try and don different hats. But yeah, it's a very interesting guy, off the field, on the field, and a very nice bloke.
All right. So on that note, thanks very much again, Sri, and take care, stay safe, and until next time, take care and bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Jiku. Thank you.